All right. Welcome everyone to the Black Brain Trust. This is episode 649 of the Sapio-Males Guide to the Galaxy, the Imprint. I'm gonna just start out asking if there's anyone listening right now. If you hear music, can you press 1? I don't even want to start unless I know everything is all good, because I don't know if you listened last night, but major botch. It was a botch of epic proportion. No, it wasn't. It wasn't like epic, but it was inconvenient. So I'm just trying to make sure everything is like all cool and the sound is all good before I get to running my John. You know what I'm saying? Hold on a second. There we go. All right, NBA fan gave me a 1, so I am all good. All right. Okay. So, what are we talking about tonight? All right, first of all, let me do this. I kind of miscalculated with doing the car talk and the cannabis talk today. I actually had like house stuff to deal with. Got a pipe in the backyard that is dumping water, right? So that pretty much took up a good portion of the day. So there was that, right? And I wasn't sure what I was thinking, with regards to my daughter being out of school, right? Like, I just have all this time to just sit at a computer when she's like, I'm out of school, I want to play Roblox. So while I was working outside in the backyard, guess who was on the computer? So there you go. But I am anticipating here, given that she will be back to school tomorrow, I'll have the time to go ahead and handle the Black Card Talk and the cannabis live streams as well. Okay. Yeah, like for these though, because I do them late at night, it's never like an issue or a problem, and like no one wants to sit up and talk like tech shit at 10 o'clock at night or 1 o'clock in the morning or anywhere in between, depending on where you are. So I'm trying to manage here. Okay, the Imprint. What are we talking about? Well, I had a pleasant conversation with Miss Real Life is Not in Cyberspace. Shout outs to her. And I listened to it. Oh, actually, today I listened to it maybe like twice. To maybe pick up on some things. Like usually if you do live streams, you go back to listen to them, you'll kind of pick up on things in conversation. And what's funny was what I actually picked up on was a comment that Miss Antisocial Socialite put in the chat there. And it was essentially, she contextualized the conversation saying that, okay, what we're talking about is imprints. And I thought that was interesting. I went back and I was listening and I saw the chat, because we didn't really say, I don't think we said imprint, or maybe we did, but it was kind of just contextually speaking. It wasn't like a main point. However, she pointed it out and put it in the chat, and it stood out to me. And then I said, oh, okay. Huh. That's an interesting follow-up topic right there. because what results from the things that we were discussing last night, right? Something becomes sort of like a psychological habit or an imprint. We were talking about unrequited love, and that's a form of imprint. What we were talking about last night, right? When we were kind of breaking it down, saying, okay, well, where does this stuff maybe perhaps come from? Um, Wait, hold on a second. A little louder, my ear, just a little loud, just a little. Right there. Okay. So, so last night we were kind of back tracing it. We back traced it to maybe like childhood experience where the child is seeking love from the parent and the parent doesn't quite return it. And then we said, okay, now that becomes sort of like a psychological pattern. So now as you grow up and you start becoming attracted to other people, but it's what is kind of driving psychologically what's driving that attraction, right? And if it's sort of like you were entrained with this whole sort of trying to seek love from a parent that wasn't returning it, you'll then in turn do that when you start to get into your adult life. That's an imprint. Okay. That right there is an imprint. It's a it's a stamp or a pattern. A matter of fact, let me see. I put the definition in the chat below, or in the description. I'm sorry. I put the definition in the description. I'm gonna get that right. Say that like 10 times real fast. Definition. Don't. Okay. I just botched the first attempt. Yeah. Definition in the description. Say it like really fast. Um. So what I did was we put. Pardon me. We put the verb and noun definitions of imprint in the description, right? However, it's the second definition. It's the second verb entry that I think is most relevant. We can also let's read them all. Okay, imprint, definition of imprint: impress or stamp, to mark or outline on a surface or body. Okay, that would imply, something physical, right? Like a tattoo, for example, right? Or those dudes in like frats and shit, they'll get like that brand or whatever, that thing just right there. So wait, hold on one second. Let me switch this here. There we go. So there's the physical aspect of it, right? And then there is the second entry, right? Of a young animal. This is what it's in kind of quotations. However, okay, well, I'm going to read it and then I'm going to contextualize it. Of a young animal, like that comes to recognize another animal, person, or thing as a parent or other object of habitual trust. Habitual trust. Okay. There's an imprint. And then that imprint now is responsible for this person, or, well, this definition, an animal seeing something else as a parent or an object of habitual trust. So perfect example. Okay, I'll just kind of let you in on a little secret. I watch animal videos on YouTube a lot. Like the people who rescue animals and shit. Like I love that kind of stuff, right? Because I'm a cat person. I love cats. I like dogs too, right? But I love cat. Well, I love both. But cats, I'm a Leo, I guess maybe, so that has something to do with it, right? But cats, I can kind of like talk to them almost, and you know, um, I'll watch these rescue videos all the time. Me and my daughter will watch these rescue videos, and what you'll find is that the animals, so the rescuers imprint on the animals, right? So then, like, there'll be like this story about, oh, we found this baby beaver, right? And I'm saying this because, like, I literally saw this over the weekend. Oh, we just, we found this baby beaver, and its mother, was hit by a car or something. So this is baby here. So then they start nursing the baby, right? And then so what happens is that the baby then begins to see the humans as its parent, right? So I watch this with animals all the time, where their caretaker basically, that's what it is. It's the animal recognizes this person is taking care of me, so there's the habitual trust. This person has become the object of habitual trust. Okay. Now there's a functional way that can happen, and then that can also manifest dysfunctionally. So I guess maybe you can kind of see where, kind of prefacing all of this here, um, how there's a positive way an imprint can manifest, and a negative way an imprint can manifest. Now, the easiest way for me to kind of contextualize it was like, I could think in my head was, um, the baby, like the rescue animal. I see it all the time. I mean, when no matter what kind of animal, baby rhinos, baby giraffes, baby kittens, puppies, beavers, you name it, right? There's a very real thing called an imprint, and the most noticeable example of it is when people rescue animals. You'll see a baby animal in distress, and then you'll see a person basically calm it down, right? And then bottle feed it, and then rock it to sleep. Same thing you do like an actual baby, right? And you do that to a baby, for example, or a child. Guess what? That child then will, you're imprinting the child. Now that child has an attachment to you. Okay. Um, Now I wanted to, um, okay, so there was two things that actually kind of spurred this. Now hold on a second, real quick. Now I'm in the middle of kind of like a quasi detox. It's a, I don't, basically I have this thing. Spring starts to roll on, weather starts to get good. I start dropping bad habits. Okay, so right now, and this is why I was a little late, so pardon me, but I made some ginger tea. I actually like went to the store, got a bunch of ginger, um, peeled it, grated it, boiled it. This shit is spicier than a mother. So if I just start randomly coughing or sneezing out of nowhere, you know why? Because I'm drinking this extremely spicy ginger tea I just made. Put a little lemon and honey in it, and you're good to go. Oh my god, it's spicy. Whew. But it works. Oh man, that makes your body vibrate, man. If you guys have never done that, um, if you want to just shock all the inflammation and mucus and all that shit out of your body, there's nothing like just some fresh homemade ginger tea. Like if you make it just as strong as you can take it, you will literally feel it in your cells. That's what's happening to me right now. I highly recommend it. Okay. Whew, hot. All right. So, an example. Okay, so yeah, there. Let me get back to my. Okay, so there was another sort of personal take, and after I say this, I have some quotes that I want to read. But after I do this, I'll check the chat because I want to just kind of get this first part that ran out. So I'm gonna give you sort of like a personal anecdote about like the imprinting, right? So let's say like when you're a parent, you're first you are supposed to be your child's first imprint, right? Particularly if your child is the gender that is opposite to you. So if you have a daughter, her first male imprint should be her father. Okay, what oftentimes happens is that because there aren't fathers in the home, the first male imprint, if there isn't some other figure, and around grandfather, uncle, something like that, older brother maybe or something, then that first sex partner becomes the imprint. Okay, and I'm not going to go there with it. I'm just basically let's keep it base level for this. Yeah, that's who becomes the imprints, right? If the father becomes the imprint, then what happens is that the dude that the daughter chooses to have sex with, if the father has a strong imprint on the daughter, typically is going to have characteristics or attributes that fall in line with her dad. Okay. Now, I'm going to give you an example, like a personal example of what I'm talking about. This just about happens every time I get out of the shower. Okay. And I want to say how it started was, okay. Shit. So my wife had a thing for like just jumping me when I got out of the shower. Right? I don't know. There was she had this thing about like a man how a man smells when he gets out of the shower, right? So when our daughter was born, let's say she was like, when my daughter was like around 1.5, right? 2 years, like between like 1 and 2, that stage from 1 to like 2.5, right? Before her health really kind of took a turn. She would literally, she would take my daughter, and she was like, "Your dad's about to get out of the shower. Hold on." And so I'm getting out of the shower. I turn the water off, and she'll kind of just wait by the door, put my stuff on, and then she'll just open the door, and I'm like, "Hey," and she just walks up on me, just starts smelling me, just rubbing her face all on like my neck and chest and all this kind of stuff, right? Like, oh my god, you smell so good, right? And I'll be like, oh shit. Now, here's the thing. My daughter does that every time I get out of the shower. When I get out of the shower, without fail, she will wait till I put my undies on. And then she'll just come busting through the door, like right as I'm putting deodorant on or something. Just, oh my god, Dad, you smell so good. Oh my god. Okay. Now, don't cringe on that. Listen, that's called an imprint. What is it that you think she's gonna want? Like, she's gonna intrinsically want that. Like, that's gonna be a thing outside of me when she becomes an adult, right? That's gonna be like a turn on thing for her, right? That's just, but it's a proper one. It's a proper imprint, right? Why is that? Well, because I work hard. I bust my ass. Right? So I go out, man, I come in all dirty and shit, and I'm not saying I stink or nothing, but shit, if I've been working in a shop all day or something, I don't exactly, smell like some what does Seven Granule say? Oud wood or whatever that Tom Ford. Okay, I don't smell like that shit. I know that's for sure. Okay. Mm. So maybe it's a thing where there's a recognition that, well, you look and smell the way you do because you've been working your ass off. But then when you clean up, like, oh my God, it's a psychological thing, man. It's a bit deeper. And I've just noticed that, man, my daughter's been doing this. She's been doing this literally. She's been doing this whole time, man. She's not, up until this point, from the time her mom used to do it with her in her arms and all that stuff, and then my daughter would be like 3. She lost her mom at the age 3. But I shit you not, I remember, we got back to California and got all kind of settled in, and she's 3 years old, 3.5 years old, man. I got out of the shower. Like, she's at the door, and I pick her up, and she's just like sniffing on me and stuff. And like I said, man, even she did it this morning. That's what made me think to do this. I was like, oh my God, baby, you are, I don't even know what to say. Okay, let me see. It's been 23 fucking. I've been rambling for 23 minutes. God damn. Let me check the chats. Hold on 1 second. NBA fan, yo, what's going on? D Scott, yo, okay, welcome, man. Ronald, what's going on? Welcome. Ginger will clear your sinuses. Oh, it'll clear more than the sinuses, bro. Let's see here. For the pet to be in a position to be rescued, they'd have to probably have an initial dysfunction in printing dynamic nose. So isn't it the rescuing a bottle feeding correcting harmful imprint? Yeah, NBA fan, because usually what happens is like in pet rescues and stuff like that, they're already in sort of like a distraught or a distressed situation. Another animal that you see this happen quite often with is like koala bears and kangaroos in Australia. When there's like fires that'll ravage like the plains and what have you, or when like a kangaroo gets hit by a car. Let's say it's a mother, and it gets hit by a car, and the joey is in the pouch, right? So the mother gets hit, but the joey survives. Okay, so those are typically what ends up happening, getting kangaroos that get rescued. And when they start, having those babies and stuff, the way that they sort of nurse or get nurtured is by being in that pouch, right? They're marsupials. So what happens is that then the human will just wrap them up in a blanket or just stick them in something and hold them. And then basically that animal starts to identify what this human is doing as the same feeling that happens when they were in their mother's pouch, because it kind of feels similar the same way, and they're intentionally doing it. So that, it's usually a distressing situation, and then by you doing that corrects it, and then that's where the imprint happens. But yeah, like I said, man, that's with regards to like just animals and stuff. But with humans, the imprinting has far more detrimental effects, man. Let me see. All right, so I got some quotes, man. We're gonna bust out on some quotes. You already know how I do. And again, man, can you guys push 1 if you guys hear music and if everything sounds cool? Like, I gotta make sure that I get this shit right, man. I can't keep just rolling along doing this and I keep screwing up, because it's just not the best look. Whew, this ginger tea, man. Whoa, all right, another swig. Oh, it burns the lungs, down the trachea. I feel all of it. I like swallowed that and I felt it in my feet. This is some spicy shit. Wow. Okay. But this is definitely gonna work out. Digging the lo-fi. Boom. All right, cool. Nice. All right, that's what I'm going for. All right, so let's check this out, man. I'm going to read some quotes about the imprint. This is from Goodreads. In the culture, people talk about trauma as an event that happened a long time ago. But what trauma is the imprints that an event has left on your mind and in your sensations, the discomfort you feel and the agitation you feel and the rage and the helplessness you feel right now. Dude, we were literally just talking about what happens to an animal when it goes through a traumatic situation. We were just literally just talking about that. Every day, in every way, we are leaving our mark. Yeah. Leaving your mark is imprinting. You know, that's another form of imprinting, man. Like, things that you do, either things that you do for public consumption or what you consume. Right? There's a lot of people, like there's a lot of like, uh, let's just say there's a lot. I'm not gonna identify like a specific group. Let's just say there's a group of people who, based on their social media consumption, think that, you know, all black men ain't ish. We know that's not true, but hey, right? It's an imprint. You consume it enough, it sticks in your head, and then you begin to believe it and think it. And so it shall be. Violinists wear the imprint on their necks with pride, for they are the players of harmony. Pilgrims, too, wear the imprint on their foreheads with pride, for they are the conductors of unity. And lovers, why, they are made humble by the imprint on their hearts, for they are merely the instruments of rhapsody. What do people see in me on first impression? Can they still see what I was until not long ago? Is there any imprint left from the love I knew? A rebirth mark? Now, I want to kind of correlate that to a position I've always taken, right, with regards to the Sapio shit, where, um, so again, there's the notion that, okay, if you value intelligence, then, you know, looks be damned, right? And it's like, well, no, beauty is something that every man should accept. Let's not be stupid. However, I value the intelligence over it. However, I'll accept the beauty. I'll take it. Yes, absolutely. However, with this in mind, we can understand that when beauty fades, you're left holding what you had all along, right? So if it was all about the beauty and there was nothing there, then pretty much when the beauty fades, you're just gonna be like, "Whoa, oh my god, what do I have on my hands here?" You know. But I don't want to digress too far into that, because that's a whole other topic, which I will make a mental note to explore. I would remember this as one of those moments in life that I can hold on to and smile about forever. So we're talking about like those memories that we're imprinted with, right? Think about, okay, let's contextualize it, right? Like, so you probably can't even remember everything that happened today. I'm like talking about every single thing, every single detail. There's something's gonna slip. Right. There are certain memories though that stick out in your head like a sore thumb from years ago. Those images have been imprinted, they have been etched into your I forgot what part of the brain houses memory and images, but it's that part that it's been imprinted in. You have been missing from me for far too long. Wow. Hmm. You've been missing from me for far. Okay. Yeah. That's when, yeah, a person's imprinted on you. There's people that you come across, right? And then you think about like, you haven't seen them again and you don't really think nothing of it. Kind of like the memory example I was just giving you. But then there's some people that you just sort of like, you long for them, right? Because there's some sort of impression that they left upon you. And if they are away from you, right, or they're not in close proximity, or you just can't have them at your side, then yeah, you're gonna feel some kind of way about it. When we die, we live on in our children. That right there is the truth. My daughter is literally like a clone of her mom. Let's see here. We got some more quotes. Let's check it out. With sons and fathers, there's an inexplicable connection and imprint that your father leaves on you. That's true too, because I gave an example of, the well, I guess because I was kind of making like a contrast or a juxtaposition, right? Like the imprint a mother leaves on a boy and the imprint a father leaves on a girl. But then, yeah, if you have a strong father-son imprint, okay, because there's the imprint works in that dynamic too, right? The mother, the daughter, father, son, right? That father-son imprint is strong as fuck. Okay. So if you're a father, I'm gonna tell you like this. Well, no, let me not digress. That father-son imprint is strong as fuck. Okay. So if you really are about like your boys, like they gonna take right after you, man. Like I've seen it with like all my nephews. It was like me and my dad, all my nephews and shit. It's real strong. And I can even see it with actually, that would be an interesting question to ask. Actually, that would be an interesting question to ask a female. How that mother-daughter imprint works, because obviously I'm a male and I have a daughter, right? So I can tell you about how that works. But you hear a lot, especially in the let me not try to be insulting. In the other manosphere spaces, right? You always kind of hear about that dynamic about like how older, like say like the mothers are teaching the daughters wrong, or like the older women are teaching the younger women wrong, like the imprint that they're leaving, right? Now, I would say that there's a lot of brothers like in these said spaces, right, that have really been pushing back on a lot of older dudes who do the same shit. Now, if y'all don't believe me, go listen to Zero's live stream from this past weekend. We had to really roast some cats. You know what I'm saying? We had to go in, but that's the reality. We have the opportunity not just to choose our job or profession, but also to choose the sort of life we want to live and the imprint we will leave on others. Ginger tea going down. Oh my God, it's hot. Oh. It burns. Oh my God, this shit burns. Oh, this is hot. This is some spicy shit. Whew. All right. All right. Oh my God, dude. What the fuck? Like, why is my body kind of. Damn, dude. This shit's. All right. Give me a second. That shit is spicy. Oh my God. And the thing about ginger tea is the longer it sits, the spicier it gets. That was a rhyme. All my life, I believe I became an athlete through my own determination, but it's impossible to think that being descended from slaves hasn't left an imprint through the generations. Run, nigga, run. No, that's a joke. That was terrible. I should not have said that. That was horrible. I don't even think I should read any more quotes after saying it. The dog is often quick to resent a kick, be it from man or beast, but I have never known him to show anger at the door that slammed to him and hit him. Probably if the door held him by his tail or limb, it would quickly receive the imprint of his teeth. Okay. That was a roundabout way of talking about an imprint. Let's see here. I'm going to go back and check a look. You should try the ginger water and coffee. Wakes you up for real, for real. I'm actually, Ronald, I'm actually trying to do the ginger to get off of coffee. I'm trying to like detox off of I don't like to drink coffee when the weather starts to get warm. It's really weird. Like when you get up and it's like warm in the morning and you're drinking warm shit. You know what I mean? Or at least coffee. I would rather drink tea or just, like a smoothie. That's what I need. I need to just do some better shit. You know what I mean? So the ginger tea is a way to just like start cutting shit out. It's amazing how she is like her mother, though she passed when she was young. That's a beautiful thing, Yeah, how you speak of them as enduring. Yeah, man. It's like, no, seriously, dude. Like, she looks like her, acts like her, does all the things that she does. And then when we were like talking about this thing, the imprint thing, it's true. That's why I'm like, no, actually, dude, just observing my own child, it's totally true. It's totally true, man. It's like it's the things that like leave an impression upon us, man, that largely dictate how we view and move in the world and the decisions that we make. And that's why I wanted to do this one because it dovetails off of what we were talking about last night. Because yeah, man, the imprint, that's a strong thing, and I'm like very conscious, man, of like trying to be my daughter's imprint, right before any punk ass motherfucker steps up. It will be me, right? Because if it's me first, there will be no punk ass motherfucker stepping up. It'll be like quality dudes stepping up. So that's why it's important that I be the first imprint. This is all facts. My dad was barely around, and I'm a lot like him. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. My dad trips on how much he and I are alike. He trips out on that shit all the time. You know, my parents were divorced, and so it was kind of like, it wasn't like I wasn't around him. I was. It was just kind of like that 50-50 shit, basically. Right. But I think what it was that when I became an adult, like, cause I have younger siblings, so then my dad was kind of like raising them, and I'm older than them, so I was off doing my own thing, right? But then me and my pops really didn't like really get tight until like, well, I mean, as a like, for me as an adult anyway, right? I was always just doing my thing, man. Like I left, dude. I left home at 17, dude. Like that's a whole other story. That's a whole other story, man. But I like just fucking left one day, dude. And I didn't tell anybody. I just left a note and I fucking packed a bag and shit. And my dad was like, you know what, dude? You fucking handle it then. Fuck you. Kinda like that. And, you know, a couple years later, man, you know, I had a business making nice money. And he was like, oh yeah? I was like, he's like, okay, well. And ever since then, man, he started looking at me a whole way different, man. He's like, okay, well, all right, I ain't got to worry about you. Right. So, but then again, that's kind of like an imprint sort of thing. You know, my dad was a Vietnam vet, man. My dad, we talked about this, man. He's gone through some traumatic shit, man, dealing with that stuff, man. Like, he he's telling me about like when he actually killed people. You know, and that's like some shit. That's some shit that will impress upon your fucking mind. Trust me on this. Like, it took my dad until like shit his late 60s to like understand that that's the shit that's been haunting him this whole time was like this PTSD shit from like literally like killing people. Like, he literally told me about a time where he literally just close range, dude, bop, took a motherfucker out, and like he couldn't. There was like heads or tails whether like the dude was trying to take him out or like. That's what I mean. It's like, because he's like, well, did I take out an innocent person? Like, there's like some shit, dude, that just you can't get away from it. Like, it's in your head, and you carry that shit, and it just stays in. It's ingrained in your head, almost to the point where oftentimes what happens here is that these things become what they call repressed memories. So like a repressed memory is basically a memory that you push back and you pushed it into the back of your mind, and then you forgot that you have this memory. It's there, you just forgot it's there, right? So there's things attached to it that still play out that you do in a daily, in your daily life. Like if you have some sort of weird sort of quirk or thing that you do, but you kind of push the experience in the back of your mind, and then you just kind of forgot about it. But there's still things that you do that are related to it. That's you're dealing with like repressed thought, repressed thoughts, memories, or emotions, basically. So all of these things are attached and related to impressions and imprints. So, when we think about like the type of person you're attracted to, right? Think about the type of person you're attracted to. Okay, there's usually. Okay, well, let me take it back, right? Okay, if you're like, like I said, I'm an avowed sapiosexual, right? So it's always like a mind thing that kind of stands out. Like I said, beauty is something where I can look at a chick and be like, yeah, pretty, whatever, right? But then they open their mouths, and then I start thinking something different. Okay, maybe the chick, she's okay, but then she has like some sort of quirky sense of humor or something. I'm like, well, interesting. And then you have like the pretty chick, and she just dumb as a box of rocks. And I go, yeah, typical, right? You know, but um, when it comes to you know, how we get to where we are, yeah, you have to kind of question like, well, and you know how we get to where we are, and what it is that you are habitually attracted to. What is that archetype or person like, and why are you attracted to it? That now becomes the question. Now that you understand the imprint, how it comes about, how it affects us, how it gets to us, how the various ways we're impressed upon. Now think about like your sex life and the type of people you're attracted to. Think about that shit for a second. How the fuck did you get that imprint? How did you get that imprint? Like seriously, like you know, you'll hear all the time, right? In the other manosphere discussions, they'll go, even the even the good girls like the thug dudes. Why? Why? I've heard like I guess relatively square dudes, I guess you can say. They like the IG model chick. Why? Right? Square dude, social media model, Instagram model chick. Right? Nerdy girl, college chick, drug dealer boyfriend. Make it all make sense. Make it make sense. There's a reason. There's a reason for it. Okay, wait. I've been doing a little bit more rambling. Haven't checked the chat. Let me go back over here. Let's see. Yeah, we were talking about the coffee. Read that one. Okay. Stockholm syndrome. Good imprint or bad Stockholm? I would say bad. When you can be free, when you can be free of any sort of syndrome or affectation that prevents you from truly being your whole person, bad. The most optimal position is to just kind of like be in like centered in the truest sense of your own mind, sans any sort of syndrome, for example, right? Because that's a hindrance, but I've never experienced Stockholm syndrome, so just giving you my take. Cedric, you said survival. You said what okay, I guess that's in relation to what drives. I don't know if imprint is survival. Let me think about that. I mean, I guess here's my issue with and that's not to say that on some level or another that may or may not be correct, right? It's not that. I guess my issue or my here's what we as humans do. What we as humans do is we will, when convenient, will reduce the human experience down to animalism. When convenient. Now, mind you, your day-to-day existence does not consist of animalism whatsoever, and you really can't pick unless you're just a bush craftsman or the outdoorsy type where you spend the majority of your time hunting your food and shit. The average person is is they're nowhere in that realm where they can relate to like a primal or animal nature. That is utter bullshit. These people like hook up sex on an app on the phone. Okay? If we were relating it to survivalism, primalism, or animalism, that means your ass would be butt naked out in the sticks, living in a cave having sex purely for propagation reasons, right? To propagate the species. In modern fourth industrial 21st century culture, people are largely having sex for pleasure. They're ordering food on an app. Okay. Like, it's amazing to me when people will say, well, you know, men were like lions. It's like, no, you're not. You've never been to the Serengeti. You have a job. You pay bills. Male lions don't do any of that shit. They just protect the pride. That's all they do. Women hunt. The lionesses, they do the hunting. They do the raising of the cubs and all that shit. You're not a fucking lion, dude. Shut up. No, I'm not talking to you, dude. I'm ranting right about now. It's just that when I hear that kind of stuff, and I'm like, okay, let's test that. How animalistic, how primal are you really human with your smartphone and your YouTube and your Facebook and your Uber Eats? You ever seen a lion like order up some gazelle on Uber Eats? Like, never. Yeah, have you ever seen any animals just order up some food? But see, when convenient, humans will turn around and invoke like primalism. Or, I'm sorry, let me stop ranting, dude. It's just sometimes when I hear that, I'm just like, oh my god, dude, no way. No, can't do that. Let's see. They want what they can't have. Okay. Well, there's wants and then there's needs. Right? Now, what I do is I raise my daughter to prioritize her needs over her wants. Make sure you have everything you need, okay? You always make sure you have what you need. Needs are just that, they're needs. There's things that you want, and then that's the things that you work for, right? So we have to contextualize things properly. There's the things that you need. You have to make sure you always have those things, the things that you need. Then there's the things that you want. You go and get those things after you make sure you have everything you need. It works a certain way. And so if you say, well, yeah, they want what they can't have. Okay. I want a Porsche. I can't have it at the moment. It does not mean I can't have it ever. It just means like, okay, I'm realistic about my reality. So I'm not going to sit up here and pine for a Porsche when I know that now is really just not the time for me to go and get one. So people have to be intelligent about their wants and their needs. And you have to make sure your needs are met first before you start talking about wants. Good, quote unquote, good girls want thugs. They feel more productive. Well, I'm glad you put good in quotes. Cedric, you should check the live stream I did called The Good Man. Because good is just that. It's subjective. See, good is good is good for bad people sometimes, and vice versa, and it's all subjective. So I don't believe that was the whole point of me doing that good man live stream. It was like that notion of the good man is like ridiculous, and don't ever call me one. Right? And as far as good girls, well, good good girls are good for everyone, I suppose, right?
How much time do you
Think about
spend
it.
in your studio?
Right? The
100%,
good guys like the
100%.
good girls,
All
and
my
so do the
life
bad guys.
is the studio.
They're
24
good for
hours from
everybody.
9 a.m. to 9 a.m. I'm in the studio. Sometimes it's for an hour, sometimes it's for 3 days. It's always different.
Could
Oh,
you describe the studio
wait
for
a
me?
minute.
Studio's a big mess. If you've seen Lee Perry's spot or
Hold on one
Sunrise spot,
second.
it's like kind of like
I
that.
had the wrong stuff queued up. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I gotta keep it a little bit spacey tonight, man. Because I got this ginger going on. It's kicking my ass, dude. I can't. I can literally take. I can only take one sip like every 5 minutes. That's how spicy this shit is. And it's got my mouth like kind of doing something. Jeez. Wow, I've been at it for an hour. I think it's the ginger, man. The ginger's just had me on one, and I ain't really even been thinking about it. Let me see. What are you saying here? So good dudes like bad girls for excitement. Okay, you're asking Cedric. Okay, I've learned that people are not intelligent. Haha. When did you learn that one, Cedric? Yeah, good equals nerdy, not from the streets. Is that what it means? I have my see. Because I think. Wait, this is a little loud in my ear. Let me take it down just a notch. There we go. Um, I don't know, man. Like, see, good is what's good for me. So I don't believe in a general consensus of good, right? What a good man or a good woman is. My assumption is that if you have a tendency to choose something, that's something that you choose is good for you because you like it, apparently. Now, if it's based in dysfunction, that's something that needs to be looked at. We've been exploring this. We were exploring it last night. We've been exploring it tonight. That imprint, right? But that was why I posed the question. I said, why would quote unquote good girls, quote unquote, go after bad dudes? And like I said, because what a good girl is completely subjective. Look, good guys like good girls and bad dudes like good girls. They're good for everybody. I'm sorry if there's any like chicks listening to this stuff. I'm not trying to make you guys come off as sounding like, but this is how you come off. Well, not you. I'm just saying, if you have a good girl, quote unquote, who likes thug niggas, right? But is also sought after by the quote unquote good guy, and the thug dudes will happily take the quote unquote good girl. That means everybody likes a good girl. And we all like a good girl, right? Who doesn't want a good girl? Hmm. Now, a bad girl, well, I don't want a bad girl. I definitely don't want that. Thug dudes will take a bad chick. They'll take a bad chick. They'll take both. That's the thing. Everybody wants a good girl. Not everybody wants a. Look, there's certain dudes that are just built for masculine chicks. Let them have them. And then you have like, I guess you can say the squarish dudes who have some sort of dysfunctional fixation for dysfunctional women, and they just run after them. I've seen it all the time, man. I've had homies just, I'd be like, dude, what the fuck? Like how did you end up with her? That's the question. That's my first. I'm like, dude, where the fuck did you even meet her? Like, where are you hanging out where you meet that? Let's start there, man. Oh, I was just with, the other homies, man. We went to a club. Nigga, what club were you going to? You be hitting the underground spots with me, man. Where you meeting that shit at? Let me stop talking shit. Oh man. No, I'm serious though, dude. Like, you think you got homies, man, they're just kind of like, heads are on straight and shit. And they pull up with something and you're like, whoa. Oh, dude. Yeah, she's cool, man. Yo, she cool? Yeah, she's cool. Yeah. Yeah, dude. Yep. Oh, good from a morality perspective is definitely arbitrary. But from a productivity, social respectability standpoint, there is definitely a spectrum to where people fit, in my opinion. That's more quantifiable. Good from a morality perspective is definitely arbitrary. Yeah, that's what I mean, dude. It's like good is it's a flexible word. That's what I mean, dude. If you didn't check out that Good Man live stream, man, you should check it out, because I'm speaking to what we're kind of going back and forth from. We're talking about a good girl, quote unquote, but the good man, quote unquote, was sort of like the mirror of what we're talking about. Like, what is that, right? And whether, okay, one, do you consider yourself a quote unquote good man? And then two, it's like, do you consider it based on the general, I guess you can say, like, the general perception of it? And in my mind, if you were to ask me about the general perception of what a good man is, a good man he's a dude who gets walked on, right? He's good for people to use him. Like, he's good for people. See, that's what I mean. If everybody tells you you're good, that's because there's something they can get from you. No one's gonna think you're good if you can't get shit from them. Right? If they can't get shit from you, no one's gonna say, yeah, that's a good guy. He's stingy as fuck. Oh, that guy, man, that dude's awesome, man. I mean, he's so generous. If you ask him for a penny, he won't give it to you. That's what I mean. So how people perceive good is largely based off of like the good that is derived from it. And if people can get things from someone, they're going to think that person is good. Oh, that's a good guy. He'll give you a good deal. 10, 15% right off the top. Yeah, give my guy a call. Good guy. Versus the dude who's like, he's going to squeeze, the salesman is going to squeeze every fucking penny out of you. Right? So I mean, like, the notion or idea of good can get twisted depending on like who's perceiving the good. Yeah, there you go. That's what I mean. It's like, what? Okay, good, quote unquote, good for what? Good for who? Good for me? Good for you? Good for them? Good for her? Who? How am I good? Explain it. Well, you're very giving. Oh, okay. Got it. I'm good because I'm very giving, because I give a lot, right? It's never reciprocated, but never mind that, right? Forget that part. You're the giver and I'm the receiver, and because of this, you're a good person. And you're supposed to feel okay about this. And this isn't a digression, because this is actually an imprint. A lot of males deal with this type of imprint, that good guy shit. That is an imprint. That is a concept. That is a thought. That is a belief. That is something that one thinks they are supposed to be doing. That is a notion that is imprinted into their mind. If I do A plus B, I get C. Bullshit. The quote that turned me: even God can't make everyone happy at the same time, so why should I try? There you go. You've never seen any proof of everyone simultaneously being happy at the same time. Not even fucking God can do it. It's never happened. When has there ever been a time that has existed when violence and war and all that shit has ceased to stop? Dude, God's smart enough to be like, I'm gonna let you motherfuckers figure it out. Get like me, motherfuckers. Yeah, that's what God is on. He's like, I'll figure it out. Shit. I created you. I mean, I bestowed you with the same shit, but y'all want to be dumb, so fucking figure it out. I'll give you all the time you need. Time don't exist, so take all the time you need. That's what God is on, man. Dude, this ginger tea is kicking my ass right now, but it's working. So I'm not even mad, but it is whooping my ass right now. I mean, dead ass though, man. Like, what the fuck is the point? Like, that good man shit is fucking hilarious, dude. Like, I'm kind, I'm cool, respectful. I'm all kind of shit. Don't call me good though. Yeah, don't do that. Like, yeah, don't do that shit. Whew, this shit is hot. All right. I'm gonna step away for a minute, go use the little boy's room, because damn, I've been on one, man. Like, for real, for real. This is like a new record. It's an hour and 10 minutes, dude. I've just been going. But I think it's the ginger, man. I think it's the ginger. Because, look, let me tell you how spicy this shit is. I've only been able to make it like halfway down. It's a coffee mug. I've only been able to make it like halfway down. That's how spicy this shit is. Okay. All right. Hey, just rock out for a couple minutes. I'm gonna step away for a few. I'll be back. I'm gonna try to like see if I got anything else in terms of thoughts on it or anything. If not, then yeah, I'll shut it down, because damn, been at it a little over an hour. So yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna step away for a couple minutes. Be right back. All right. Okay. I am back. Let me check the chat real quick. So yeah, I think good from an individual romantic relationship and from the macro societal optics of a person, we are way different in a romantic relationship being good. The argument is hedonistic. I mean, that's one way, but again, like if you're taking that sort of macro, right? What let's just say, like, if you're to take the black YouTube social media manosphere lesser position on it, right? Then I suppose, right? Because that's everything's binary in that realm, right? I would argue and say good in that regard, in which you're relating to NBA fan, would be what is compatible with you, right? So it's not a societal standard; it's literally an individual standard. It's literally what's good for you. Because if you hit on compatibility, then you're good for the other person. You guys are both all good, right? And the only standards that were met were like the two of yours. It wasn't like greater society or something. Man, fuck greater society, dude. They're all stupid. Just listen to all these dumbasses out here. So you tie good down. Hold on. Dude, really? So when you tie good down to a romantic relationship, it gets way less obscure. You can measure it. Yeah. I'm trying to fish for any more thoughts, man, that I had on this one. Like I said, what really sparked this topic was my conversation with Miss Real Life last night, and then my daughter doing what she always does, and then doing it this morning because I just so happened to be. I was listening to the playback while I was in the shower. I was listening to it, and so usually I'll just like take my phone in the shower, I'll play something, I'll listen to it while I'm in the shower or whatever. And it was just kind of like the two coincided, man. I was listening to that, and then my daughter came busting in and doing her thing, and I was just like, "Oh, dude, Imprint, yeah, you gotta talk about it." Because like, there's literally like not a day goes by when I come out of the shower and she doesn't do that. So let me think, man. Anything else on the imprint? See, I don't. What I'm trying to stay away from is the stuff regarding the imprint that you always hear. I'm trying to give it actually a different angle and like some more depth, more context. You know, trying to relate just my own experience as a father that has a daughter. I don't think there's any other angles to hit here if I missed. Yeah, like I said, I don't want to. I don't really want to kind of go down that slippery slope of. Like I said, what? Look, okay. Where I didn't want to take the conversation was like women, the choice in men, and then the outcomes, right? I'm trying to like kind of get before that point, right, and trying to examine, well, how did we get there? Yeah, the conversations about like why they choose what they choose. See, the thing is this, right? It's kind of like telling a burn victim why they got burned. It's like, well, you know you got burned because of fire, right? And then you're all sitting there with your arm all wrapped up in gauze. And you're like, well, yeah, no shit. I have a whole burn on my arm. Yeah, got it. Right. However, if we're parents, if let's say you're younger, you know, some people who listen to this maybe like in their, you know, I would say early 20s, mid 20s, right? Before you really start getting out here and being an adult in the world, right? So I would say for them, people younger than them, or people who have children. No, okay, this is a worthy conversation, right? It's a worthy conversation for grown adults who are kind of like in their mode and they like what they like and they do what they do and they date who they date. This conversation ain't for them. Okay, this shit wasn't for them. That imprint is firm. Don't ask them to change it. However, there are some things you can do with younger people, right? Because they still have a sense of impressionability, right? So this can definitely be applied to them. Message had a comp error. What was that? Art? Jeez, what's going on? What's going on, Art? Could you argue their lack of rational choices when choosing men is more of a dysfunctional imprint or the absence of an imprint? Well, I would say that they're one and the same. So, for example, if there's no father in the home, right? That's going to create what Dr. Phoenix refers to as an ACEs, or like an adverse childhood experience, right? Which is a form of dysfunction. But that dysfunction is caused by absence. You get what I mean? So I would say that they could be either or the both, or the same, or both at the same time. I think most of the time, though, it's both at the same time. Yep. Most of the time, it's both at the same time, but it can be one or the other too. You know, but I think it's a combination of the two. Okay. Dude, this is a new record for me, man. An hour and 24 minutes. Well, I did take a little bit of a break, but it was only a couple minutes. But yeah, I think this is all I got on the imprint, man. I think this is all I got. Yeah, I'm really trying to fish to think if there's anything else for me to kind of touch on. No, I think that's it though. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and shut it down, man. Yeah, we're at the hour and 25-minute mark. I'm gonna go ahead and shut it down. All right, so yeah, man. I'm glad you guys could, or you guys did fall through. You know, appreciate and be a fan. Art and Stock, Aaron B, Paul, Cedric, Ronald, D. Scott. Yeah, appreciate you, brothers, for following through. Make sure I didn't miss anyone. Yeah, just wanted to make sure, man. I got everybody, you know, shout everybody out here. Everyone else who's listening in, you know, hit the like button if you haven't, or just hit the like button if you like it. Let's do that. I don't want to like guilt you. No, I want you to hit the like button if you genuinely like it. Okay. And then share it too if you know other people who dig this kind of stuff right here. Because we're trying to give you just some, you know, some different shit, man. Gender war, gynocracy, and everything else, right? Whatever. I don't know, man. We smarter than that. I'm pretty sure, well, you know, Miss Real Life came up last night and chopped it up with me, man. She was very insightful. And when I went back and listened to the live stream from last night, I was like, man, that's a cool combo, man. She's a feisty one, too. Uh-oh. She's going to come after me now. Yeah. But yeah, no, you know, Naima, she's been up here too. Miss Shy, Coco, as they call her. This Raining Woman, dear friend of mine. Yeah, a few others come up here too. Miss Topaz, Classic Ruby. So shout out, you know, a few ladies that come up here and contribute, man. Because, you know, according to our analytics, literally like 1% of our subs are female. Dude, that is fucking hilarious. 1%. I had an inappropriate joke about like Occupy Wall Street, but that's just that's a whole digression altogether, and a very bad joke, bad taste. Let's see here. Yeah, I was thinking like being used during those years as opposed to just there being a void. And what's the truth of the whole problem? Like seeking positivity in random men or seeking the dysfunctional imprint of the abuser. Like, what would be worse in your opinion? Honestly, whichever one gives you the worst outcome. Because when you really think about it, you can have a bad outcome either way. Like, so for example, you're saying like, okay, somebody who's abused, right? Now, see, some people who have been abused, like they'll have thoughts in their heads of wanting the very opposite of what it is that they have been getting, that, you know, the abuse. So some people will say, look, man, I dealt with that shit my whole life. I don't want no parts of that. Right. See, so they kind of got above and beyond, right, that codependency for whatever sort of dysfunctional attention or love that they would get from being abused. You know, I think it's the Stockholm syndrome. You know, you start to identify with your abuser. And then you have the people who wholesale reject it and say, well, look, as soon as I can get the F away from this, I want something else. And they go to something else. The complete opposite. Someone who is actually going to love them, you know? So then there's the instance of like maybe just like a person who maybe just wasn't abused or nothing, but just non-existent parents, or the parents just really just largely just absent. Yeah, then that person kind of is like, it's their guidance is kind of aimless, and that could have bad outcomes because that means that they could find themselves linking up with the wrong group of people. I mean, how many stories have you heard about like kids who are like straight A students that fucking go and join a gang? Perfect example, right? It's a mixed bag with a lot of this stuff. I think what you have to do though is just try to always start with the best case scenario to try to get the best outcome. Anything less, it's a crapshoot. All right. My brain is really out of gas now. I can't. I mean, it's just hard to talk for a half hour straight, just by yourself. So, I'm gonna go ahead and shut it down, man. I appreciate you guys for just like rocking out with me tonight, man. Kind of chopping it up on this topic. Again, just hit the like or share it, what have you, and we will check you guys out tomorrow. Peace.